Hello, girls and women, ladies, and welcome to Empowering Women with Celeste. And today I want to do a short podcast. I just want to tell you about an experience that I often have. Actually, it's been a while since I had it, but I was thinking about it yesterday, so wanted to share it with you here today. And this is something that people always say, "What?" When I say this, I always get that feedback because people just don't get it. And that is when I tell people I don't have a TV. I don't own a TV, and I haven't since I was about 20, and that is 10 years ago. So, and yeah, people just don't get it because somehow they, like, it's just a part of life. Like, you need to have a TV and you need to, yeah, you need that social or kind of distracting thing, whatever it is, because I believe that it's something that is just distracting us from our life and from the things that our emotions, and from the things that we don't want to see. So that is one of the reasons why I don't have a TV. And the other reason is that I just don't want to watch what they are showing on TV, because either it's just bad news and I don't want to watch that. I don't want to watch all the fear that is going on in the news world and about war and sickness and all of that. It ruins my system. I know that it's there and I don't want to shut my eyes about it, but I don't want to hear about it every day. And then there are all of these shows about, and not that they're all bad, but it's all about showing an image or creating a world where you think this is perfect, this is the perfection, this is what is beautiful, especially going into the body image area, which I love, is that you should be a size 6, you should have blonde hair, you should be slim, you should have no shapes at all, you should wear high heels, and so on and so on. And I don't know what else there is today. But that we should be a certain way. And then there are programs that are, I love comedy. I love laughing. I wish I did it more. But I find that most shows or people are making fun of things that you should not make fun of, like other people or animals, like they are harmful to animals, disrespectful in ways that you shouldn't be, just to have fun or to make someone laugh or dress them up or whatever. And I don't find like that's okay. So there are many reasons why I don't watch TV. I love watching movies. Like I say, I love comedy, and there are a few shows that I follow, but that's it. I don't spend hours scrolling around, because that's the second thing, that it's such a huge time consumer. And oh God, if you knew how much you were wasting your life looking at that screen. And I know I do that sometimes. I'm not innocent. I do that sometimes when I go visit someone who has a TV, because like I said, I don't. So when I go visit, I see those things, and I can spend days like just binge watching a series that I really love. But again, that's not very often. And I do it like with a purpose, because okay, now it's fun. I am excited about spending like the next 2 or 3 days just sitting and staring at a screen. I cannot do that, so I need breaks, and I go for walks and so on. But I like watching TV. But it's not something I do that often. And if there's anything in life that you want, if you are not completely satisfied with your life, you are not like the happiest person ever walking around, like you just feel amazing all of the time, then there's something you need to change. And one of those things are the amount of time you spend on social media and TV. Again, social media is another thing that is also time consumer, but that's also very destructive in like the way we see ourselves and the way we see each other. Like we see this perfect woman, this gorgeous, amazing, beautiful, sexy woman who has it all, like the car, is making a lot of money. Usually it's like a coach or someone who sells something, whatever. And like they just have it all, and they have it all figured out, and they're just confident, and they're just amazing all the time. Like their life couldn't be any better. But the thing is that we don't see behind the surface. And behind that is probably, I cannot say for everyone, but for most of the people that I follow who are like that, who actually shows what's behind, is that sometimes they're really afraid. Sometimes they go hide, or they just sit down and cry all day because someone said something that was hurtful, or they saw someone writing something about them, or they have a huge thing coming up that they have to figure out. Like these things that just come in life, and you cannot, like, you have to deal with it, and you cannot change it. And just to very shortly tell you that their life is not perfect. No matter how perfect it seems, and like you just feel like they have figured it out and they got it, and it's just great and it's perfect and they're just beautiful and amazing, but they are not like that all the time. And I just want you to know that and to remember yourself of that, which is why it's even more important to me to sit here and tell you some truths that some others might not. Because when we have that high expectation of this is how life should be, and you should just never be afraid, and you should never have any trouble and issues, and when you're looking at these people who just seem to have it all figured out, that it's not like that. That's not life. That's only what they show you and what they want to show you. They don't show you all of those other things. So don't put people on this pedestal, on this godlike thing that they are just perfect, because they're not. We're all human beings. We all make mistakes. So again, also, I don't read magazines because they are so shameful. Like, I cannot understand, and I don't understand why people would harm others in that way, people they don't even know personally, something that could destroy their lives. I don't get it. I always feel like very compassionate for the people who are the target of all of this criticism and shame, and now this person did this, has said this, or they wore this, and I don't know, because like I said, I don't read the magazines, and yeah, I've actually never done, because I just don't get it. Be nice to each other. Focus more on the positive. Be more kind to each other. Just, yeah. That is basically just what I want you to do. Be more loving. Show the love. Give the love. Accept people as they are, because deep down that's what you want. You want others to accept you for who you are. But you have to start with accepting others also as who they are. So yeah, that was the short version of why I do not own a TV. But again, like I said, I still like sometimes to just binge watch something, but I do it usually consciously. Like I said, I go somewhere and then I know for the next 2 days I set time off, like this is what I'm gonna do. Because the trap that we fall in is when you come home from work, and I know this, or school or whatever, or school and work, and then you come home and you're tired and you need a break, and then you turn on the TV because that's just what you normally do, and then you just sit and stare into that, and then suddenly 5 hours has passed. And yeah, so the reason why, or at least what I have heard, the reason why people watch TV is because they say it calms them down. And I just want to say that there has been research on this, and they say this is not the case. Like if you're watching TV, and especially like series or the news, like it's because it's drama, it's all about drama and whatever it is. This doesn't make our brain relax. Actually, it's the exact opposite. So my theory on what is actually going on, what is happening, is that we are distracting ourselves from the emotions that we don't want to feel, the uncomfortable emotions, or truths that we don't want to see. So like emotions that, like you're sad, maybe you lost someone, or you're really angry and you're trying to keep it in, so you just want to distract yourself, or just the truth about your life, maybe. Like maybe your life is not the way you want it to be. Maybe it's not really good. Maybe you're with a guy who's not being very good to you, and you don't want to face that truth that he is hurting you. Maybe not physically, but mentally it's toxic for you, it's draining for you. Or maybe your job is, you won't realize that your job is actually really shitty, and that you maybe should quit, but you're afraid to do it, and you're afraid you won't find a new job, or whatever the reason is. There are so many. I know it. I have been there. But that's why I believe that social media and TV are such easy things like to go to distract ourselves from our life, our emotions, or like thoughts we have about ourselves. Maybe we're thinking about how today was, and we made this mistake, and so we are hitting ourselves in the head with that. Or someone said something to us that was hurtful, and that makes us spiral in this negative thought patterns, and then we turn on the TV, and then it kind of goes away for a little bit. But again, this is not a sustainable, permanent, or great way to deal with this. So if you find yourself one of those people who cannot control it, and I admit that sometimes I feel like that too. Like I think it's a global sickness we have, especially now, where it's so easy and there's so much and we don't want to miss anything. So we go there all the time and distract ourselves from the truth of our lives, from the hurtful emotions and feelings and situations, and the thoughts that we have about ourselves, that we're not good enough, we're not loved, we're not wanted, like nobody wants us. If you're single, you might be wondering, why am I alone? Why doesn't everybody love me? Or I'm not good enough, like why can't I do anything right? All of those things you need to, and this is a great exercise which I want you to do, that anytime you find yourself turning on the TV or picking up your phone to go to Instagram or whatever, in that moment, ask yourself, what is going on right now? What is it that I'm trying to run away from? What is it that I don't want to see? Like, what is going on? Become aware. Ask yourself questions. And when you can, because I know, again, it's hard. It's like an addiction. It's like if you are on drugs or an alcoholic, like it's hard to get away from because it's an addiction. But if you can turn off the TV again, or lay down your phone and just sit with yourself. If you need to close your eyes, do that and ask yourself, like, what is going on? What is going on in my life right now that I want to change, that I need to do something about? What is it that is hurting me? Where is the pain? Where is it coming from? Why is it there? And then start to do the work to change it. Start to look inward, because it always comes from the inside. Even if your boss is shitty, your reaction is the thing that you can control, and you don't have to let a shitty boss affect you. You can still be happy, you can still be confident, you can still have a great time at your work, even if your job is your boss is shitty or mean or whatever. That's your reaction. I'm not saying it's a good thing on long terms, because if that's the case, you should quit. But just to kind of help you realize that you have so much power. There's so many things that you have the power over. Well, actually, it's only yourself. But when you start to do that, when you start to realize that you can make choices, that you can do things differently, that you don't have to do like you have been doing or what anyone else is telling you to do, this is when you start to take your power back. This is when you start to change your life, because now you're no longer influenced or controlled by government, by parents, by friends, or whoever it is, old beliefs that are telling you you're stupid or you're not good enough and you're not loved and you're not wanted. But when you start to make those choices, like, no, I know I'm smart, I know I'm good enough, I'm doing the best I can, so I am, and I know that I'm perfect just the way I am, so I'm loved, I'm wanted, like I'm here for a reason, because I'm supposed to be here. When you start to make the choice to feel happy every day, your life changes. Everything is a choice. And whether you make the choice to let things influence you, like other people's opinion, is a choice. You can also choose to not let that be a part of you. If, for example, you're choosing a career and your parents are telling you you should do this, but you can feel deep inside that you're not, this is not you, this is not what you want to do. That's a choice whether or not you're listening. And you can choose, and of course I will advise you to choose what's right for you, because you're the one who has to live your life, not your parents or your teacher or someone you're watching on TikTok or a podcast you're listening to. Again, like, everything with respect, and I will never tell you like you have to do this or you should do this. Everything I'm telling you is a way of doing things, is just advice, because I don't know what's right for you. I just know what has been right for me, and I know some things that work, and that's what I share. So whatever anyone, including myself, is telling you, if it doesn't feel right for you, it's not right for you. If there's something that feels right for you, it's right for you, and you should go with that. The trick is just to be able to be honest with yourself, to look past fears and beliefs and so on, and just listen to your heart. And this is the work I do. I help girls and women especially to listen to their heart, to their truth, to their soul, and kind of sort out all of that other shit to put it nicely, like beliefs you have been told from parents, or you've been learning in books or whatever. Like, there's only one truth, and that's your truth. We're all different. We all have different life lessons and different purposes. None of us are the same, and we're not going the same way. So the only thing that I can do, and that other mentors can do for you, is helping you find your way. Like, they're not going to tell you, this is the way, this is how you should do. And if they are, they're, I would say, not maybe not great coaches, because in my opinion, a coach, a mentor, a guide, whatever, should help you find out what is right for you, should help you learn to listen to yourself, to your heart, tap into your intuition, find the answers to your questions, and not answer your questions. So there's a big difference between answering questions and helping you find your own answers to your questions. Okay, so really, really important, and I'm so happy that this last piece came in to this podcast, because I'm going to end it now. So you got my story, you got my message. If anything resonated with you, anything I have shared in any podcast with you, please share it with me. I love to know that what I'm doing is actually helpful, or if not, and give it a like or a thumb or whatever it is you can. And if you have any questions about any of the things I've said, you can send a comment, give me a comment, and I will answer the best I can. And I hope you have an amazing day, and I will see you next time. Bye.